Good morning, YouTube. Let's get into it. We're going to read Chapter 4 from the Blobs, Attack of the Glitchies by Justin Stewart. Let's see how long this is. Did I ever read this? No. Alright, I know that, I'm not like reading these daily or when I'm supposed to, so I do apologize if people do watch this. A sharp ding echoed through the hangar. The massive doors hissed open, releasing a wave of smoke that poured across the metallic floor. Out of the fog, Lord Zord emerged, his figure casting a shadow over the glitchy standing at the attention. A menacing grin stretches across his face, and his boots clanked with each step as he inspected the troops. The mission is he choked briefly and waved a claw in front of his face. One of the glitchies quickly turned off the fog machine, and Zord glared at him. As I was saying, the mission is simple. His voice boomed through the giant space garage as he pointed to holographic portraits of 5-member crew escape pod 526. Capture these 5 blobs, meaning those doomskulls back, and they have them. You must not fail. The glitchies pounded to the ground with bases of their staffs. Surges of blue electricity cracking through the air. Yes, sir, they roared, raising their weapons high above their heads as sparks burst without hesitation. The platoon scattered, each soldier racing to their assigned attack ship. Engines roared to life, shaking the hangar as the fleet prepared for launch. Lord Zord stepped closer to the opening hangar bay, his gaze fixed on the endless void of space. "We're coming for you," he whispered, his eyes gleaming. Meanwhile, light flickered through the windows of a glass dome greenhouse. Chubb stood outside, wide-eyed, clutching a tiny succulent in his hands. "No way," he breathed. Vines crawled up the front entrance, weaving through the arches above the door. Cobblestone path led into the inside, banked up by the flower beds. Bursting with color, the garden was landscape and the kind of rocks that Chubbs has never seen before. Back home, it was perfect. The greenhouse is dreams. There's this greenhouse. Chubbs cleaned off the glasses, and it's still unbelievable to believe it was real. Before the destruction of their last home, every blob had been promised a fresh start, a place to rebuild. Chubbs had wasted no time designing his. A simple, charming sanctuary packed with plants. A single tear rolled down his cheek as he looked at his tiny companion. Lobsters were home. Little buddy, no more alien cops, no more rescue missions, no more danger. Lobster let out a affirmative beep, quickly followed by the worried ding, but Chubbs wasn't listening. He was too memorized by this strange, beautiful world he could finally call his own. Lobster, on the other hand, knew the truth. They weren't alone on the planet Splash. Cradling Lobster in one hand, Chubbs bolted through the door, exploded every inch of his new paradise. Blob Force hovered car dropped pedestrians off in the front of his new home, or rather his old home. It was the exact replica of the house he lost when the meteor struck the original Blob home world and destroyed it. That was only a few days ago, but after everything you've been through, it seemed ages ago. The familiar sight of the replica house felt like stepping into a safe memory untouched by chaos. Kadetsky typically didn't like changing his home around. There was a quiet comfort in knowing where everything belonged. A bookshelf 2 steps from the kitchen, his warm boots by the front door, a creaky chair that always faced west. Rearing anything would disturb the delicate balance. Push open the front door and walked inside it. Everything looked the same, every detail, every corner. He half expected to see bags of dark chips, his favorite snack, waiting in the kitchen with a cold can of Zorby in the fridge. The only difference in the new house was that it was equipped with a standard issue plain sheet device glove box. A smile crept across his face as he wanted wandered through the house, eventually finding himself outside his bedroom. He paused at the door, took a deep breath, and opened it. His bed, his shelves, his posters, it was all exactly the same as in his old house. Relief washed over, but it didn't last long. As he settled in the chair at his desk, his thoughts turned against him. What else could I have done to get the general to listen? What if the glitches do come for us? What if those obstacles are dangerous to our new planet? Question after anxiety questions swirled louder and faster. Finally, he grabbed his chat com, sent out a message to the group. Guys, we need to talk. Let's meet up. Chubbs was too busy to notice Kadetsu's message. His eyes sparkled as he wandered through the beauty of his backyard. A dreamland of towering trees, rows of herbs, an advanced rebuilding team had implement his design exactly down to the last seeding. This is so much better than my first garden back home, he cried to Lobster. That his mouth fell open. This was different from his old home, and 1,000 times better where his new yard ended. He stood on the hill overlooking a small green valley with nature. Stream cutting through it like liquid glass. Chubb's grin stretched ear to ear. He broke into a run down the slope and into the valley, arms outstretched as if he could hug the entire landscape. Every step fueled his joy as he discovered new flowers, shrubs, trees in his garden paradise. The valley fed into a forest. Chubbs charged into the woods without second thought. The deeper he ventured, the thicker the shrubbery grew. Vines twisted overhead and branches clawed out his sleeves, but Chubbs didn't care. This was going to be his place. Wild and tame and perfect, he was already envisioning what could grow and build back here. The opportunities could be endless. Then cracked, the ground gave away underneath his feet. Chubbs let out a startled yell as the earth swallowed him home. Ah! There's the end of the chapter. Tomorrow or Saturday, I'll read chapter 5, and I don't give you the title, but I like how they have the donut and the bear. I like that. That could be a next tattoo. You all have a good